Hey, I'm Randy, and you're watching The Cheap Audio Man. Here at The Cheap Audio Man, we talk about high-value home theater, hi-fi, headphones, DACs, amps, turntables, phono preamps, and today we're talking about the Schiit Manny phono preamp. So grab a cup of coffee, sit down, and let's talk about the Schiit Manny. The Schiit Manny, it's $130. It's made by Schiit Audio, or some people pronounce it a different way. It is made here in the US of A, and it's quite small. Look at it. So today I'm going to talk about how it sounds, what the features are, and compare it a little bit, or a lot of bit, to the iFi Zen Phono. I use the RT83 turntable from Fluctuate with the Ortofon 2M Red cartridge, as well as the Nagaoka MP110 cartridge. I had that running into the Schiit Freya Plus preamp, into the Emotiva XPA Gen 3, and finally feeding the very nice Wharfedale Evo 4.1 speakers. All of my listening was done off of Nirvana Bleach. It's a very, very good record. It's when they were still with Sub Pop Records. Very good, very thick, very bassy, so I knew it was going to be easy to tell what the sound signature is on the Manny. So the Manny is pretty simple. On the front, you don't really have anything. You have an LED. On the back, you have RCA in, RCA out, grounding post, and then a on-off toggle. On the bottom, one has the ability to switch between gains, and also there are configurations that are for moving magnet, low output moving magnet, and then Deca mode. I just left it in Deca mode. How does it sound? It's very detailed and very clean. The Nagaoka MP110, that cartridge has a tendency to be very full and almost warm. Not almost warm, it's a pretty warm cartridge. Depending upon what electronics one has, it can give a very warm presentation that's not overtly detailed, and there's a lot of clarity that can be lost. So I had listened to the iFi Zen Phono with the Nagaoka MP110, and it was a bit warm for my taste. Now, enter the Manny. So when I hooked the Manny up, I put this record on, Bleach, which has a tendency to already be very thick and leathery on the bottom. Then I put a very warm sounding cartridge on it, and wowza, it didn't sound like the Nagaoka that I have come to know through the iFi Zen and through most of the integrated phono preamps in integrated amps, such as the Emotiva TA1, the BC Acoustic EX214. It sounded like a completely different cartridge, and if I remember correctly, it sounded awful similar to the Ortofon 2M Blue through the iFi Zen. This worried me a bit because the Ortofon 2M Red cartridge can be a bit harsh at times, depending upon what type of amp, speakers, electronics you have it going through. In the upper mid-range, there can be a little bit extra. And it can, the 2M Red to my ears can also sound a bit thin. So I was really surprised because I didn't think those two were going to go well together. Now, they didn't go together as well as the Nagaoka MP110, for sure. But it still wasn't harsh. And I'm surprised that it wasn't. So the Manny on its own is a very clean sounding phono preamp and is going to complement cartridges that are a bit on the warmer side, like the Nagaoka MP110. And really, I've only heard about 3 different cartridges. I've heard the Nagaoka, well, that's not true, 4. Nagaoka MP110, Ortofon 2M Red, Ortofon 2M Blue, and an Ortofon OM5E, I believe. I didn't have the OM5E hooked up, but the 2M Red and the Ortofon OM5E sounded pretty similar to my ears. The 2M Red was better. Compared to the iFi Zen Phono, which runs about $180, the Manny seems a bit thinner. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing at all. The Zen just seemed a little bit more robust on the bottom end, but the Zen did not pair up as well with the Nagaoka MP110 as the Manny did. Really, it comes down to what type of cartridge, what type of sound are you getting out of your turntable currently. Now, I don't think one is going to buy the Manny and it's going to sound horrible really on any cartridge, but there is some magic with the proper pairing. And one of my friends, Brock, you know who you are, he mentioned that on the forums in the interweb verse, that a lot of people talk about how well the Nagaoka and the Manny pair well together. And I'm here to tell you that I heard exactly the same thing. So I think if you have a warmer cartridge that lacks a bit of detail, then you can really pair it up well and get a very pleasing, almost neutral sounding result from your vinyl records. Nagaoka runs about $120. The Manny runs $130. For $250, you're going to get a very nice sound. However, the 2M Blue is $200. That cartridge, I think, sounded very neutral, very detailed, but also had enough weight on the bottom end to, frankly, sound fantastic. That's one of the best sounding cartridges. Actually, it is the best sounding cartridge that I've heard. But again, I don't have a ton of experience with this, and my experience with higher priced cartridges ends at the 2M Blue. That's the most expensive cartridge that I've heard. I thought the 2M Blue paired very well with the iFi Zen. I don't currently have it here. I am going to get another one. The cool thing is about the Fluence turntables is there's removable head shells. So very quickly I can switch out cartridges and determine what sounds better with which phono preamp. And it's also a great opportunity to be able to enjoy multiple sound signatures on your turntable. It's kind of like having two different sounding bookshelf speakers that you keep on hand and you can switch them out to get a different sound. So I think the Manny is great. I think at $130 it is a very quick and inexpensive way to get a great phono preamp. I don't feel the Manny pairs as well with the Ortofon 2M Red as the iFi Zen Phono. Conversely, I don't think the iFi Zen Phono complements the Nagaoka MP110 as well as the Schiit Manny. If you don't know what the sound signature is of your phono cartridge, it can be a bit of a guessing game. However, the Manny is going to extract a ton of detail, and even on cartridges that can be a bit harsh at times, like the Ortofon 2M Red, I still didn't think it pushed it over the edge, so that wasn't enjoyable. Very good, very clear, very detailed. Not as much going on the bottom end as the iFi Zen Phono, but if you have a thick cartridge like the Nagaoka, then it's going to be awesome. Great product, inexpensive product, easy way to get a great sounding phono stage without having to break the bank. And the Schiit Manny is going to be way better than any integrated phono stage you get in most integrated amps. The ones I have experience with are the Emotiva TA1, the BC Acoustic EX214, as well as some of my other receivers. The Manny is going to be way better than any of those. So if you are using the internal phono preamp in your integrated amp and you want to step up a bit, this is a way to do it. Also consider the iFi Zen Phono as well. $50 more. Both are great. If you know what the sound signature is on your cartridge and you can kind of balance that with one of the two, then you're going to be in vinyl heaven. So if you want to support the channel, you can sign up for Patreon, patreon.com/cheapaudioman. Every Sunday night we have Patreon-only Zooms. We also have a Patreon-only Facebook group where you can chit-chat and sell things to people that you know, kind of. You can also sign up for Amazon Music. There is a link in the description and the pinned comment that lets you sign up and get 3 months of music for free, and you can even get Disney Plus for free, and you can cancel. But if you sign up through my link, I do get a couple of dollars. You can also use any of my links in the description or the pinned comment. Those are affiliate links for the most part. If you click on those links and you buy something, I will get a commission, small commission. You don't pay any more though. So don't binge watch anything on Netflix or Hulu. Binge listen maybe through your new Schiit Manny Phono preamp and fill your soul with happiness. And with that, I'm Randy. I'm the Cheap Audio Man.